Salutations. My name is Summer, and I was wanting to go over the mid-year freakout book tag for 2020. The first question is best book I've read this year, and I'm going to have to go with Ken Follett's World Without End. It's actually the second book, and I'm guessing a trilogy, but I haven't read the third one yet, so maybe he's going to continue on. The first book is The Pillars of the Earth, and it is about building a cathedral. And this book, and you already have certain characters from the first one that you know and you've grown to love, but or hate. But yeah, this book, it carries over, and then you have the plague, which is very interesting since we have the virus going on. They're like, wear masks and, keep your social distancing, stay home. So reading this with everything that's been going on has been very interesting, but I absolutely love it. I'm excited about the third one. My mom just finished reading this and she loved it also. So this is the best book I've read this year. Number 2 is best sequel. And I'm going to go with Iona by Alison Goodman. This is not a typical book I would read. And I picked up Eon. Actually, I might have picked them both up at a library sale and just thought, well, it's 50 cents, I'll try it. And so interesting. So Iona had to pretend to be a boy, so that's what the first book is, Eon. And she wants to be she's training to be a Dragoneye apprentice. Well, the Dragoneyes always are boys. They always pick boys, and she gets picked. And you learn why she gets picked and why it's so important that she's a female. So, and all the struggles she has to go through. And I thought this was young adult, but if it is, there's some serious stuff that goes on. So I'm thinking it is not young adult. Anyway, number 3, new release. I haven't read yet, but I need to. Oh, I don't have anything down for this, but shoot. I forgot to grab the book for this one. Hold on. Okay. I have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Susan Collins, and this is a prequel to The Hunger Games. So this is about President Snow, which I guess a lot of people are upset about a book about him, but I don't know, I like reading about villains sometimes, so I'm curious about what made him, be who he was, and he was pretty horrible if you've read The Hunger Games, And then The Institute by Stephen King. I am a huge Stephen King fan, so I'm still reading from his backlog, but anytime anything new comes out by him, I'm there for it. So, number 4, most anticipated release. Fredrik Backman, Anxious People is coming out August 18th. I pre-ordered it. I love anything by him. I reread Beartown and Us Against You this year. So yeah, anything by him, I'm ready for. Biggest disappointment. I've had quite a bit. I've read 91 books, and when I was looking for what the best book was that I've read, I had trouble. I mean, not with that one because I just absolutely love that, but I was going through thinking, yeah, I could care less about this book or that book. And I was surprised how little I cared. So, biggest disappointment, Catcher in the Rye. Did not like it at all. I'm trying to read all the America's Greatest Reads that was out last year or the year before. I'm still trying to get through those, and Catcher in the Rye, I did not like it at all. Sons and Lovers, D.H. Lawrence. I have a 3-book rule. I wonder if I picked D.H. Lawrence up. No, I didn't. I have a 3-book rule. Lady Chatterley's Lover. I started it, did not like it at all. So then I got Sons and Lovers, and I got a beautiful vintage edition, which it's in a box to go because I read the whole thing, and it was a big book. I want to say it was like 500 pages, and I just did not like it. So he's got one more chance, and then I'm saying no more with him. So, biggest surprise. I have it here. That is Vinegar Girl by Anne Tyler. I just happened to pick this up, I want to say maybe at a thrift store. I had no expectations for it. It said something about Shakespeare. Yeah, it's a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew. I have never read any Shakespeare. I know a lot about Shakespeare just because I think everybody does because it's so, popular in our society, but no, I've never read any Shakespeare. I love The Vinegar Girl, or is it just Vinegar? Vinegar Girl. It was really good, really good. Let's see. New favorite author. I have to say, I went through my list. I have the same favorite authors, Frederick Backman, Emily Giffin, Ken Follett, Lisa C., Stephen King. I really don't have any new favorite so far. I mean, I think this year's turning around because the books I'm reading right now I am loving, and they're both new to me authors. Actually, all 3 are new to me. Newest fictional crush. I would love to be like, oh yes, I'm 41 years old and I don't have fictional crushes, but it would not be true. So my fictional crush I am reading right now and is Dominic Birdsey from I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. I know he can be hard. He can be very closed off and selfish. But I tell you, he pulls at my heartstrings, and there's just something about that hot-headed mess. So he is my fictional crush at the moment. A book that made me cry. I'm a huge crier. I watched The Legend of Tarzan last night and cried. So I cry at everything, pretty much. But I went through my list of books, and I could not find a book that made me cry this year. So, a book that made me happy. Eat, Pray, Love made me do it. This book is, I found it at Ollie's, I think for $1.99. And I loved Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, I say. I love the book. I love the movie with Julia Roberts. So, but this is all stories about people who read the book and it inspired them to change their lives and live in a more authentic way that was true to themselves. So, very good. My mom just gave it back to me. She borrowed it and she really liked it too. And then also, Nevermore. This book surprised me. And you know what? There might be another question about a book that surprised you that I forgot to write down. I'm not for sure. So I saw this for $1.99. Oh, $4.99. Excuse me. At Walmart. And so I bought a copy for my mom and for me. And then my mom went out and bought a copy for my niece, who really, my niece is 12. So this is more for a book for her anyway. And all 3 of us read it. We all enjoyed it so much. I think my mom loved it the most because she went out and bought the 2nd book. And then she was upset that the 3rd book wasn't out yet. I said, Mom, I just picked it up because it was a cheaper book and it looked cute. So, but we all really enjoyed Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. Yeah, Jessica Townsend. So, Let's see. The most beautiful book that I've bought this year, there's two, but I think I only grabbed one. Yeah, I just grabbed one. So let's talk about this one. Wilding by Isabella Tree. And what a beautiful name, Isabella Tree. Like, if you could pick a name. Anyway, it's gorgeous. I don't know with the lighting how well you can see the berries. And the inside, I love how it carries on. I like to order most of my books from Book Depository because I love the UK editions. I think they're so much more beautiful than the American. But anyway, I think that's my most beautiful book. And I have not read this yet, and I don't know if I'll get to it this year. We'll see. What do I need to read before the end of the year? A ton of books. But you know, since this whole virus has came, this pandemic, and everything's been stressful with work, and I still go to work. I don't work from home. My mom and I and my sister, we have a small business, so I still go to work and work full time. But with everything going on, it's made me realize I don't want to waste my time on. I have over 2,000 books, and probably 800 of them I haven't read yet. And I'll read books I'm not really sure about, and then let the books that I think I'm gonna love just sit there. Like I'm waiting. I'm not sure what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for something. So this year I want to read the third book, Kim Follett's Column of Fire. This is a beautiful book too. So anyway, I want to read this and finish that off, at least from where he is right now. Like I said, I don't know if he's gonna carry on with the series or if it's just gonna be a trilogy. And then Child 44, Tom Rob Smith. Funny thing about this book, I found this movie first because of Tom Hardy. I was on a Tom Hardy kick and I was looking up every single movie that he was in and ordering it from the library. So, Child 44, he plays Leo, the main character. So now I get to visualize Tom Hardy as Leo when I read this book. So, anyway, and I'd like to finish Patrick Melrose by Edward St. I want to say Aubin. I think I'm on the third book. There's 4 or 5 books. This is the bind up. So I'm about halfway, a little over halfway. So I'd like to finish the last 2. Mother's Milk I need to read, and let's get up here. Mother's Milk and At Last. I need to read those. And this has been kind of difficult for me to read because of all the drug use. So I've had that in my family, which most people have had someone that has been, struggling with addiction. So it's hard for me to read sometimes because it just is. Okay, and another one I want to read. I'm a huge John Steinbeck fan, and I have not read The Winter of Our Discontent yet. I like to read it around winter time. I plan to read, have this be one of the last books I read this year. But yeah, I have a ton more besides that, but that's just a few things that I would like to finish up this year. Anyway, I'm so happy I finally got to do this tag, and I'd love to hear what you guys are reading, and yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Bye.